how to create a Snowflake free account, and what are the components available in Snowflake. So we'll discuss step by step. So if anyone want, please take a note so that it is easy for you guys. So about the Snowflake definition and what is the unique features about the Snowflake. So I'll give you notes so that it is easy for you guys. Okay, so how we will create a Snowflake account is, you just go to Google it, just search for Snowflake, free type. So you will get the link. So you just click here. So you will get the window like this. So here we will get 400 worth of free usage. This is for testing. So with single sign in, which means for same Gmail ID we can use up to 30 days free trial. So after that we have to upgrade. So we have to pay the amount. So instead of paying that, you can go ahead with a different Gmail account so that you will get another 30 days free trial account. So maximum it will allow 30 days only. So here we will give few details. So I'm giving my first name, last name, and Gmail ID, and the company. So it's not a mandatory anything, you can give the company name. So here if you click, I do not want Snowflake to send an email about the product and services. If you don't want, you just click that, this checkbox, and click on continue. So as I said, right, so this Snowflake, these are the editions, Snowflake edition, standard edition, enterprise edition, and business critical edition. So please make a note, I'll explain so what are the types of editions and what is the use of these editions. Okay, so first please take a note, what is Snowflake. Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse platform. Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse platform built on top of the public cloud. On top of the public cloud. So in the bracket, you can specify AWS, GCP, and Azure. You can close the bracket. For storing and retrieving data. It enables data storage, processing, and analytic solutions that are faster, easier to use, and far more flexible than traditional offerings. It enables data storage, processing, and analytic solutions that are faster, easier to use, and far more better than traditional offerings. It's a true software as a service. In the bracket, you can write it SaaS. SaaS. It's a true software as a service offering. There is no hardware and software. There is no hardware and software for you to install, configure, or manage. All ongoing maintenance, management, and tuning is handled by Snowflake. Okay, I'll give another definition. In the next paragraph, we can make a note. Snowflake as a service will be using AWS resources to store my data and process data. Data which is stored in AWS S3 by Snowflake service is encrypted, 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 and security is managed by Snowflake only. The next line, if I choose Azure, it will use Azure resources to store the data and process the data. The next line, if I choose GCP in the bracket Google Cloud Platform, it will use GCP resources to store the data and process the data. Okay, so this is the Snowflake definitions. So whenever we are trying to creating a free trial Snowflake account, so it will ask the Snowflake editions. So here total we having total 4 Snowflake editions are available. So one is standard edition, enterprise edition, and business critical edition. One more edition is there, which is virtual private Snowflake. So that it will not be visible here. So I'll tell you. So which edition is it will suit for what or which organizations, so that you will get a clear picture on that. So the amount which is charged by the Snowflake may vary based on which edition we are working. Okay. So you can make a note types of Snowflake editions or Snowflake edition types. The first one is standard edition.
One doubt here. So
Yeah.
do we have notes for this standard notes? Any kind of kind of material?
No.
Okay.
Standard edition. It provides unlimited access to Snowflake standard features. Okay, the next one is Enterprise Edition. Enterprise Edition provides all the features. Enterprise Editions provides all the features and services of Standard Edition. With additional features, especially for the needs of large-scale enterprises and organizations. Okay, and the third one is Business Critical Edition. Okay, formerly known as Enterprise for Sensitive Data. Formerly known as Enterprise for Sensitive Data. It provides high-level data protection to support organization dealing with sensitive data. And the last one is Virtual VIRTUAL, Virtual Private Snowflake. In the bracket, you can note VPS. It provides high-level security for organizations dealing with financial activities. Okay, so in the standard edition, so you may not get all the features like the time traveling and the virtual warehouses resizing, and there will be a very minimal limit for data sharing. So no organization will go for standard edition. Okay, and enterprise edition. So the enterprise edition is basically, this is the basic edition which organization start using this kind of edition. So even for large scale organizations also, they can go ahead with enterprise edition. So in the enterprise edition, all upcoming features and whatever the latest features available in the Snowflake, so all the features available from enterprise edition onwards. Okay, and the service which they are using is a common service for enterprise editions. And the business critical edition is they will charge a bit extra compared to enterprise edition. And this is a kind of any kind of sensitive related information for those kind of people, like I can say like banking sector or pharmaceutical industries. Ideally they will go ahead with the enterprise critical edition. And the last one is virtual private edition. So this is completely financial related activities, like any automobile industries which they are designing the designing part and the vehicle formula related information. If they don't want to use the common services, then they can go ahead with the complete private service, which is highly chargeable. Okay, so these are the four types of edition, and the cost may vary for each type editions. So we will always choose enterprise edition only. So we will never go ahead for standard edition. For standard edition, we may not get all the features. Okay, and the clouds. So these three are the public cloud platforms. Okay, so if someone is asking you what are the public cloud platforms available in the current market, so these three are public cloud platforms. One is Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Platform, and Microsoft Azure. Okay, so without selection, we cannot create a Snowflake account. As I said, this Snowflake is completely cloud based. Okay, so if you hosted a Snowflake on AWS or Google GCP or Azure, accordingly, the complete data it will be residing in the cloud platform. Okay, so now I am choosing AWS. So if you choose any public cloud platforms, so it will ask the region. So region is the most important. So I am selecting US North Virginia. So it is up to you guys. Any region you can select. So you may get a doubt in case if the region is down, or in case if the complete Snowflake itself is disaster, then where my data will be available. So our Snowflake, so whenever we are configuring or creating a Snowflake account, which cloud platform which you are hosted, so there the complete data which will be maintained. So we no need to worry about in case if any disaster Snowflake side. We will 99.99% it will not disaster. In case if it is disasters happens, still the data we can recover. So that's why every company is looking to moves to Snowflake. Okay, so click on get started. So this is just a verification. Okay, it is preparing the account setup in progress. So we will get activation link to our register Gmail ID. So the activation Snowflake link, it will automatically we will receive the save into Gmail account. So once I click on, so it will take you through the screen, so where you can set your name and the password. So now I'm setting name, I'm specifying, and the password I'm giving here, and the confirm password.
I have one question. Can you?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah, so we have selected AWS, right? So
Yes.
if we select Azure or GCP, like the actions which we are going to perform with the data will be different, or it will remain same in Snowflake?
The data, it will be remain same, and how you are seeing here also, the functionality, it will remain same. The only difference we can observe is uh, these three are the public cloud platforms, right? So in AWS, so what are the features are, it was launched in 2014. So many of the organization, they start using AWS. So now after that, slowly it was launched Azure. So now everyone, I cannot say everyone is looking for Azure only, but few of the features which is giving extra comparing to AWS. So whichever the industry is suitable for that, they will go ahead for AWS or Azure or GCP. So it's not you know, we can only go ahead with AWS or Azure or GCP. So GCP is recently launched. So the organization, they are not pretty much sure about how the GCP is working by comparing to AWS or Azure. The functionality remains same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, may I know who is the close competitors to Snowflake?
As of now, there is no competitors. So one competitor, I can say, AWS Redshift.
Okay. So what is the edge we have? On AWS Redshift to Snowflake. So why customers choose Snowflake than choosing Amazon Redshift?
So
may I know the difference?
So this Redshift is basically Snowflake charge separately for compute and storage cost. So in Redshift, they will charge combine both. Snowflake supports the more flexible, better than Redshift, like JSON based functionality and queries, running performance. This is far more better than Redshift. And the last point is Snowflake is almost 95% is completely automated than Redshift. So which means we don't have to worry about the data backups, and we don't have to worry about even if the time period is over, still we can recover the data, and the maintenance cost is almost zero.
Okay.
And in the production system, if you want to pull some billions of data to development system for testing, it will be completely, Snowflake is charging zero amount. So you can do whatever the activities you want, don't need to touch in production system. So you can do everything 100%, all testing activities we can do in development system itself. Once you correct the data, we can move this data to production system within a fraction of seconds, and for that also Snowflake will not charge anything. But Redshift, we don't have these functionalities, automated functionality. And comparing to the cost wise, Redshift charging more.
Okay.
Clear, no? And another major part here is, if any organization, they go ahead for Amazon Redshift, then they has to stick to Redshift only. They can't move to, or they can't to choose Azure or GCP, right? So that is the restrictions from the Redshift side. But Snowflake side, we having better features. So as of today, Redshift also, I cannot say it is a competitor. So somehow we can make as a competitor. So as of today, there is no competitors for Snowflake. This features is not at all available in any of the software still today.
Okay.
So maybe in the future, let's see how it will be. Clear?
Yeah, it's clear. Yes.
So I'm activating. So once you activate it, so it will automatically prepare and generate the link. Okay, so here this is the Snowflake account. NMA76357 is the Snowflake account, and this is the region US East -1. We selected a region, right? The US North Virginia. So this is the region. Okay, and this is a common for everyone. Even in the real time also it is common. So this will vary for every Snowflake account. It doesn't matter whether you are creating a pre-trial account or paid account or whatever it is. Okay, so we will get automatic email. So welcome to Snowflake account. So this is the URL. Okay, this we have to, you can make a bookmark. So whenever we are clicking on this link, it will ask us the username and password. Okay, so if I log out, so what will happen is, if you are not, if you deleted this, then the link, the login link, it is really difficult to find out. So again, we have to create a free trial account. So either you can mark it or just click this login to Snowflake account. So it will take you into the login page. So that we can able to give our login credentials. So this is how the look and feel of the Snowflake screen. So as I said earlier, so this is a system admin. By default, whenever we create a Snowflake account, that it will be a system admin account. So this is also an interview question. So when the moment we created a Snowflake account, by default it will be a system admin account. Okay, some people they may ask this question straightly. Okay, so these are the list of components: databases, shares, data market, warehouses, worksheet, history, preview app, partner connect, and help. And this is a drop down. Okay, so please make a note: components of Snowflake database. So we will discuss each and every component and what is the usage, so that you will get more clear on that. For the high level, you can make a note: components of Snowflake database. The first one is database. So here we can manage all the databases which will be created in Snowflake. Here we can manage all the databases which will be created in Snowflake. Here we can create a database. Here we can create database, clone the database, and assign the privileges to the database. Inside the database consists of tables, views, schemas, stages, file formats, sequences, and pipes. Okay, so which means so here, so whenever we are trying to doing some operations, or whenever we are creating a table, we must need databases. So database is a kind of, it's a collection of objects which belongs to schema. Okay, so here this is the databases. So if you want, we can create our own database whichever the name you are comfortable. So by manually we can create the database, by programmatically we can create the database. Okay, so here inside these databases we can create a tables, views, schema, stages, file format, sequences, and pipes. So you will get more details, and the cloning we have a separate topic, so that we will discuss in detail. The cloning is something like if you want to copy production table data into development table, then we can use clone. Okay, so zero copy cloning, zero copy cloning, both are same only. So this here, the cloning in the database is, we are cloning the entire database, which means this, under this databases, whatever the, so this is the databases in the left side. So under this databases, if we having a number of tables, views, stages, so the complete database we can copy into new database, that is cloning databases. Okay, and coming to the shares, the second one is shares. This is one of the unique feature provided by Snowflake. Using this feature, we can share the data across the Snowflake account without copying the data. Okay, so this shares component is basically, so if you want to share the data, some portion of the data, or how much data we supposed to expose to the persons or within the organization or the end users, so that we can control it here. By using the shares, we can control that. From one Snowflake account to another Snowflake account, or one Snowflake account to non-Snowflake accounts, how we can share the data. So that we will discuss in detail. Just make a note, some high level it. data marketplace. So this data marketplace and preview app, these are the two components which was launched recently. Okay, data marketplace. It access to the third party data. It access third party data to provide deeper insights to your organizations and get your own SaaS vendors you already work with directly into your Snowflake account. Okay, and the next one is warehouses. A group of missions which help you to process the data. A group of missions which helps you to process the data. Based on the volume of the data you want to process. You can create different sizes of warehouses, like if you see here, so you will get the sizes. Based on the volume of the data you want to process, you can create a different sizes of warehouses, like extra small, small, medium, large, X large, 2X large, 3X large, 4X large. Okay, these warehouse sizes will come in t-shirt size. This is very important one. So we will discuss in detail for each parameter so that you will get very clear picture on that. And whenever you want to stop the warehouses, you can stop, and resume in the sense you can start it. If you don't want this warehouses, if you want to delete it, you can delete it. Okay, and the next one is worksheets. Here we can write all our queries. Here you can write all your queries and you can execute all your queries. You can create as many worksheets you want. You can create as many worksheets you want. That will be stored in Snowflake Web Console. So this is the Snowflake Web Console. Okay, so as a Snowflake developer, so we used to write the code in worksheets component under the worksheet components. So once you click on this plus symbol, you will get another worksheet. So like that you can create many worksheet. There is no limitation here. Okay, And here, so in the worksheet, you will get system admin by default, whatever the role it was selected here, it will be appear here. And this is the warehouse. By default, it was compute WH is the warehouse. And the database was not yet created. So if you want to select it, the existing database, you can select it. So when the moment we select the database, by default, schema will be public schema. Okay, so this is also an entry question. So when the moment when I select the database, what is the default schema, or what is the default schema for the databases? Is public schema, or some people they will call it as public and information schema. Both are same only. Okay, and whatever the databases are available in the Snowflake, so all databases will appear here in the left side. So if you expand the databases, you can see the information schema and public. So I'll tell you in detail information schema. So whatever we are doing in Snowflake, any operation, any activity, everything it will be available in information schema. It's a kind of database which is owned by Snowflake. Okay, and this is a schema name. So under this schema name, we could see here no tables and views in this schema because we have not yet created. Okay, so everything we can get it here if we expand these databases. Okay, slowly we will get more idea on that. So in the history component, here you can check all your queries. You can check all your queries which got executed. Here you can check all your queries which got executed, and also you can filter your results based on the variables like if you click on drop down, so you will get it based on the variables like status, users, warehouse, duration, and time, session ID, SQL text, query ID, statement type, query tag. So you can filter all our queries by using. You can also filter your results based on the variables. So if we execute any queries, so every query has its own query ID. So without query ID, we cannot run any statements in Snowflake. So by using this query ID, we can track all the informations. Yeah.
Yeah, so this variable dropdown will vary according to the role, like system admin or developer, or it will remain same for all.
For system, it is remains for same for everyone.
Oh.
It will not change.
And do you mean here we'll get all the logs over here?
Yes.
If any?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All logs will get it. Success, error, everything it will be available in the history tab.
Okay. So
for
till how
example,
much time we'll get? Is it 1 week or 1 month? Can we restrict that one or?
It is completely restricted by the admin people. Admin people, they will restrict it. Okay. And the next one is preview app. by clicking on this preview app, so it will take you into different window. So now we don't have any data. So this preview app is basically, you can make a note how to visualize VISUALIZE, how to visualize your worksheet data result using charts and dashboards. Okay, so whoever not having a knowledge on or idea on Tableau or Power BI, so it is a kind of reporting tool. So the same way the Snowflake is trying to giving the same features in Snowflake itself. It is not 100% perfect from the Snowflake side. Still, it is undergoing. Okay, so that's why no company is using directly this feature. So as I said, it was launched recently. Okay, this is a kind of to visualize our data, how the data will be in a graphical representation format. Okay, and the other one is Partner Connect. So using these third-party tools, so which means in the below are the third-party tools. Using these third-party tools, you can migrate the data into Snowflake data warehouse. So these are the third-party components available here. So it is not restricted only, we have to use these third-party tools. So they gave the flexibility of these third-party tools. If you want, you can use any of the third-party tools to migrate the data. If you don't want, you can use a different third-party tools. Okay. So if the company is using Oracle or SQL Server or MongoDB, any of these databases, so either it may vary organization to organization. They may go ahead for Informatica tools, or if the company is using SAP, so SAP, they will go ahead for a different approach. Brightflow tool is there. There is a separate Brightflow tool. So they'll extract the complete data from the SAP and they will load it into Brightflow tool. So this Brightflow tool, they will convert the data into different file formats. So whichever the file formats they are compatible based on the data type, which type of data we are trying to injecting. So they will convert the file and that file it will load it into AWS. From AWS it will load the data into Snowflake data warehouse. So you may get doubt why we are involving ETL here and AWS, why we are loading directly into AWS, why can't we load directly into Snowflake? Okay, so you will get a very clear picture on that in going forward. But now I'll just give you the high level details. So once you are extracting the data and if you load in here, so we can load the data in databases only. So once the table is created, so if you use and upload the data, so I'll also show you practically. So we have not yet created any table, so that's why so here the load table is there, right? By clicking on the load table, we can load the data. Okay, so if you load the data directly into Snowflake, so many of the tuning performance related activities will not apply it, which means automatic micro partitioning, compression techniques, and the proper data alignment will not be applicable. So which means if I'm trying to loading 100 GB of data, then it will get stored 100 GB of data only. It will not apply compression techniques if you load data directly. So if you load data to AWS from AWS to Snowflake, then what will happen is this Snowflake automatically apply the compression technique and automatically micro partitions will apply. Okay, so once the compression techniques will apply, then the 100 GB of data, whatever we are trying to loading, that it will become 10 GB of data. Okay, so this is the high level. So we will discuss in detail in going forward. And the last one is help. Okay, using this help tab, you can go through Snowflake documentation. If I click here, it will take you into the Snowflake documentation. Okay, you can go through Snowflake documentations, and also you can download several drivers by clicking on help tab. You can see this download, right? Click on download. You can also download several drivers like SnowSQL, JDBC, ODBC, Node.js, Python, etc. Okay, so if the company don't want to use or they don't want to spend more money on any of these public cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, or Google GCP, and they want to use only Snowflake, so that case what we can do is by downloading SnowSQL, we can perform all the activity. So that we will that also I'll show you practically, so that you will get very clear picture on that. Okay, so this is something like so if your OS is on Windows or Linux or Mac, then we have to download this software. If you are completely into Linux, then we can click this. You can download this. Okay, that I'll tell you in detail. Don't worry. And this drop down. So by clicking on this drop down, here if you want, you can change the password and switch to role is there, right? So by default, whenever we are creating a Snowflake account, so the default roles, these are the 5 default roles: account admin, system admin, public, security admin, user admin. Okay, this is the interview question. Please make a note. What are the default roles available in Snowflake? Account admin, system admin, public, security admin, user admin. So I'll tell you each and every one what are the differences. Okay, account admin, which encapsulates the system admin and security admin roles. And the next one is system admin. System admin is the default role. Okay, so it can monitor and manage users and roles. It can manage and monitor users and roles. And public. Role that automatically granted to every user and every role in your account. Security admin. It can monitor and manage users and roles. And the user admin, it just create roles and users. And the system admin is, it has the privileges to create warehouses. It has the privileges to create warehouses and databases in an account. All customer roles are expected to roll up to system admin. Okay, so you will get so you may expect, so these are the basic roles available in Snowflake whenever we create them. So you can say standard roles or basic roles, these are 5. And out of these 5, which is the default role? System admin is the default role. Okay, and the preferences. So once you click on preferences, so you will get into this page. So whoever the mail ID, it was configured here, and multi-factor authentication, so mobile number. So whenever the usage is crossing the limits in Snowflake, so automatically whichever the ID it was configured here, that person will receive automatic email, so and so person cross the credit limits used. Okay, which case this scenario will appear is, for example, we are working in a development system, and unnecessarily I'm just checking update operation. Okay, so whether this update is working or not, I can try for 1 or 2 records, whether the data is updating correctly or not. So that is sufficient. It will work for a number of records also. But if I try to update some millions of records for trialing and errors in the development system, that is unnecessarily we are using processor size, and we are updating the data, and Snowflake also is charging. Whenever